Hey everyone, how you doing? Yes, as you can tell by the title, this is pretty much Amiga related. But a couple of games to show you first that aren't Amiga, they're for the Amstrad, so without further ado. First up, from Codemasters, which was a new release, as it says at the bottom there, Wrestling Superstars. Does that cover look a bit like Hulk Hogan to you? The reason I bought this is not because wrestling games were any good back then really. That's the back of the box. Commodore 64 screenshots I think you find. Yeah, the reason I bought this was because I think it was the last game Codemasters ever released on the Amstrad. Or maybe the 8-bits in general, I don't know. This was like 1992, maybe 1993 even, and obviously by then the 8-bits had pretty much died and 16-bit generation was well in flow. So quite nice and colourful, but obviously wrestling games were limited back then, so never mind. Right, two more Amstrad games, and these are actually like new releases, as in the last couple of years. So you might be aware of them already. First of them is Star Saber, which is a brilliant horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up. This is the 64K RAM version. There are two versions. There's a 128K RAM version as well, and this is on a level with the likes of Crossout, Silkworm on the Amstrad. A couple of really good horizontal scrolling shooters, much better than the likes of R-Type or Nemesis, which is better known as Radius of course. The 128K version, which I could have got because I do have a 64K RAM add-on module. The 128K version has an extra level and also has music playing, where this doesn't have music, but really good none the same. There's a long play of this already on YouTube, but I might do a gameplay of this at some stage. As the same with this one, there's a long play of this, Dead on Time. This is pretty good. There's a couple of different modes. There's like a survival mode and an arcade mode. Mainly more or less vertical scrolling. It's not quite as colourful, but the action is pretty frantic. And Retro Gamer magazine gave it a sizzler. I mean, it's pretty good. Yeah, so it's this has been covered on YouTube as well already, but I might do it as well. It costs about £4 or £5 I suppose, but worth it. Nice big box, just like the old days. Okay, I have 8 Amiga games to show you. They're not all shoot 'em ups. First couple are though, so without further ado, this is an old classic remade, if you like, for the Amiga. Defender 2. Nice artwork on the front there. This was programmed by a guy called Jeff Minto, done games like Revenge of the Mutant Camels and Lamatron. He was a bit of a legend on the Amiga, among other machines. Defender 2 contains Defender, Defender 2 and Stargate. All pretty similar. Unfortunately none of these versions are actually that good. Set box. Has a nice poster which is kind of like the front and the back covers of the box all in one. The instructions on the back. Nice poster. Yeah, so this was only a couple of pounds. I think it was like £3 delivered through the door. So I'm not going to argue too much. It's but none of them are that really good to play, to be honest. But I might cover this at some stage. I probably will cover it because it's classed as a shoot 'em up after all. As is this one. Now I had the original disc of this game, but never had the box, and now I've got another disc and the original box. Menace. Comes under the Psygnosis label, although Scilapse did the decoding. Some nice screens on the back there. Pretty good horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up for 1988-89. What can I say about this? It's, yeah, each level is pretty different actually. So, I mean, nothing amazing. The box, again, set boxes. What's that about? Nothing much in the way of the manual. Of course, one disc. Yeah, it's a good shooter though, and I'll definitely be covering this one. I'm pretty sure there's a gameplay of this on YouTube already. Yeah, Psygnosis big box, nice to get. Hard to find and go for a lot of money usually. I think that was around £12, so it wasn't too bad for one of them. Okay, another shoot 'em up, and then some variety. This game, fairly rare and damn old, 1988 as well. Gold Runner 2, big long box, some interesting screens on the back there. This is primarily a vertical scrolling shooter, but there are little other things to do as well, which I haven't really played or read about yet. Now, one disc, and on the instructions it says evaluation sample. Not sure what that's about. Interesting. Michael Deal News. Gold Runner coming to Amiga. Original price of $19.95. Obviously, Gold Runner 2 is a sequel to Gold Runner. I'm not sure if I did show this one originally or not, to be honest. So, both Gold Runner games. Both very early for the Amiga, and both not particularly good, really. I mean, there's a lot of vertical shooters come out on the Amiga originally, and well, as in the late 80s, and not a lot of them were that amazing, to be honest. Okay, a game for the Amiga 1200. Say that, 3 games for the Amiga 1200. First of them is Jurassic Park. There was an Amiga 500 version of Jurassic Park as well, but the 1200 version has 3D sections too. I'm not sure the bog standard version did. Comes on 3 discs, a manual in there. It's pretty good, you know, you roam around, you shoot the dinosaurs, which, you know, and you've got to rescue your people, you've got to activate this, activate that, so on, so on. Yeah, I quite like it actually, it's not bad at all. Put that down there. Another Amiga 1200 version, and this is a bit of a departure for me actually. This is an RPG of sorts. Aisha 2. Messengers of Doom, to give it its full title. Some really nice graphics in this actually, really nice graphics on the back there, hopefully you can work out. I'm saying that, the artwork on the front is quite nice. Yeah, there was a basic version as well, and this comes on a fair few discs too, if I remember rightly. 4 discs and a manual. Yeah, I mean, there were 3 Aisha games in total. I'm not sure if they can get them as a trilogy or not. They did appear on various compilations as well. According to reviews and stuff, Aisha 2 is the best version, the best out of 3. This is about £6 actually, so it wasn't too bad price. Jurassic Park, by the way, was like £3, £4 delivered, so that's not bad. Okay, a game you probably will be more familiar with. Again, this is for the 1200, or it doesn't say on the box, only on the discs. Pinball Fantasies. I've recently done a CD32 version, video, which included Pinball Fantasies there. So I have the CD32 version as well. Basically, more colours and more music, that's pretty much it. There's your 4 tables. The only one I like, to be honest, is Partyland up here. The other 3 tables I didn't think were particularly good. I'm probably in the minority, but I actually still prefer, out of all the pinball games that this company released, 21st Century Entertainment, Pinball Dreams is still my favourite, and the better tables. So there we go, we have 4 discs and a manual again. Yeah, I mean Partyland is a great table. It's pretty quick. I mean, I think Pinball Dreams might have been just a little bit more slower and more playable in general. But the games that come after it, well, Pinball Illusions was good, which was true pinball on the PlayStation. But there were a couple other ones that come out on the Amiga 1200 only, and they weren't particularly good. The game that takes more advantage of the 1200 is this, an original one, Worms. I do want to get the CD32 version at some stage. It makes it easier to play. I've played this on the 600 and it's a bit, it doesn't come out too well, but I think it works better on the 1200. Obviously you're all pretty familiar with Worms, a few screens in the back. I do like that cover though, I mean obviously you've probably seen that before. What this has is a code booklet, which was quite familiar actually, quite quite a few of the games had these. A lot of the Team 17 games had these. Can barely see it, but that's a ton of codes in there. One big instruction booklet, because it's not as simple to play as the PlayStation version, for example. It does tell you everything to do though. And there's 3 discs in the box. Yeah, Worms was an Amiga original, which obviously got transferred to pretty much everything after that. And yeah, we'll be getting at some stage the CD32 version. One more game which come through today then, and well, it's not in its packaging now, I've opened it already. And this is another shoot 'em up, and it's a sequel to a classic 8-bit shoot 'em up, and it is Iridium 2 from Graph Gold, programmed mainly by Andrew Braybock. Graph Gold did on the Amiga the likes of the Rainbow Islands conversion, did Fire and Ice, which was a really good platformer starring Cool Coyote. Yeah, Iridium was a classic Commodore 64 game, mainly horizontal scrolling shooting over like a platform, destroy a thing to move on to the next. And the Amstrad version wasn't particularly good, it's a bit of a specky port, still playable. So this is bang up to date as it was for the Amiga back in 1993. If you've got an advanced Amiga, an AGA, it has a faster version to play, as I've already read. So it comes on 2 discs. I thought it was a plain bit of paper at first, but this again is another one of them piracy code sheets. Actually light blue numbers in there, very hard to see. Yeah, so there's a couple of different game versions to play. Has a story in there, a sequence of play. 2-player team. And the Mayhem mode is the Amiga 1200 version, which is super fast, loads of bullets, etc. Because the basic Amiga won't be able to handle it. So there we go. Quite a nice bunch of Amiga games and a few Amstrad games to boot as well. Yes, so more stuff soon really. Thanks for watching, see you soon.